What's up, you guys? Maverick Approach here. If you guys want these shirts, I know I've been, telling you guys, they are here, the Coincidence Specialist shirts. Click the link below or go to maverickapproach.com or go to Maverick Approach on Instagram. Click the link in the bio and get your shirt today.
I'm down 162 pounds in 6 months, and it feels great. Looking at myself in the mirror is a trip. I marvel at myself now because I'm like, man, I've done this in 6 months. 6 months is not that long ago.
I started this program back on July 1st at 288.5 pounds. Today I weighed in at 184. When I first got here, I was sad and depressed and stressed out. Over time, I regained my self-esteem, my willpower, my determination, and those things have helped me to grow and become happier with myself and in life.
Use code TFU10 for a discount on the full body cleanse.
This is O'Shea Jackson. You're listening to TFU Podcast, if you didn't know.
Welcome into another episode of TFU Podcast.
Let's go.
Today, rounding in the year, we had to bring Maverick Approach back because there's so many questions that we have, and he came all the way from Vegas to LA to enlighten us. I consider him a genius. How was the trip?
It was good, man. I hate this damn traffic. That's why I moved away.
LA got traffic, though.
That's one thing that didn't go away. All the business left, all the money left. The traffic is here, though.
Traffic ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, but no, it's cool, though. So I always got to tap in with y'all.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming down.
For sure.
And just to start right in, files been released of Epstein.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm unsure because, I seen your post about the Michael Jackson, and it's kind of like, okay, there's some misleading stuff, some stuff that looks...
Man, you be on it. I just posted that. Yeah, man. It's two things can be true with that. And I feel like what's going on with the Epstein files is a little bit of truth and a little bit of confusion. Why did it take so long to come out? Right? Mm-hmm. That's one thing, because you have these files and you're sitting on them, and all of a sudden you want to release them. A lot of redacted stuff, right? So the picture that you're talking about is Michael Jackson. Everybody's like, oh, he's chilling with Epstein. Here's the thing. For one, that picture that they release is bullshit because they're saying that those redacted, people are either minors or victims. So the waters get muddy because when you see the original photo, it's actually his kids. Okay. So they're alluding to like, oh, these must be victims, or you kind of don't know. But if you look into, some of the, historic images, it's from a charity event from 2002, and his kids was there. And then you have Diana Ross's son. What's his name? Evan Ross. Mm-hmm. He's there. Diana Ross is there. So it's like, okay, what are you guys trying to do? Right?
Yeah.
And here's another thing about Michael Jackson and Epstein. Now my theory is true. I had a theory about this. Now this proves it. Okay? So you guys remember when Michael Jackson had his second case, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So can anybody tell me why the FBI raids his house and they find zero evidence? What's their conviction rate? 98%.
Right.
Okay. So they don't find anything. Now, what was going on at the same exact time? Jeffrey Epstein's case was going on at the same time, which nobody knew who this guy was at this time. Okay. So my theory was, did Epstein use the most famous man on earth as smoke and mirrors to cover up his first case? Because that's what it looks like.
Oh, wow.
Because nobody knew who he was. The most famous man on earth was going through his case. They find zero evidence. And it's kind of weird that it was a state case, but the FBI is involved. Oh, we need assistance. We need assistance from the FBI. Since when? And they find nothing. So I find that suspicious. So two things can be true. And I think that they're throwing in a little bit of truth with, some lies. Okay.
What's Epstein's relationship with the FBI?
Epstein has deep ties into the deep state. He has ties into the Mossad. He has tied into our current government, because people don't know that his island was actually called Blackmail Island amongst other people in literally. They were like, oh, you go on a Blackmail Island? And they knew. So certain people who, was none the wiser would go there, right? Did what they did, had fun. Epstein was like, yeah, we had fun last night, right? It was cool. Hey, come in here. Watch this tape. Yeah, that's you doing X, Y, and Z. Now I own you. Why do you think that he had a picture of Bill Clinton in that blue dress? That's like a trophy on the wall. Like, hey, I got you. And Bill was the number one client, because if you look at all those pictures in the files, Bill's in damn near every one of them.
Yeah.
Let me show you around the island. Yeah, like that's Bill. He's like the host.
So what is going to happen to Bill? And what are they saying to Bill at this point?
I think he's low-hanging fruit. We knew this for a long time, that he was involved. But now just seeing it is just like, there he is. There he is again. There he is again. Right? So he's low-hanging fruit. I think he's cooked. And the fact that there's rumblings of Hillary Clinton trying to separate herself from Bill.
Damn.
They're saying that there's, some divorce talk in this whole situation. I'm not surprised.
Finally, man. Like, Hillary has been standing strong with this motherfucker.
Apparently, Hillary was, allegedly one of these people that was over there too. Apparently she's not innocent.
Did you see the picture that Hillary, that they released in the files? Did you see the picture? You guys didn't see this picture. Okay. So there's a picture of Hillary Clinton in the files.
Okay.
Have you ever seen that movie Eyes Wide Shut?
Yeah.
Yes, one of my favorite Christmas movies.
Christmas is funny.
So it looks like a scene right out of that, because if you look at the picture that they released, she's dressed in ritual garb. Okay? I don't know what they're about to do or what that picture's about, but you don't need too much context, right? Because there's a lot of stories about her. We talked about it last time, of what she's into. And just seeing that there's a picture of her in some type of ritualistic, garb, that I don't know what's that about, but I don't know what that's about. Like, it's kind of obvious at this point. So, and it's kind of weird too that Kash Patel, the head of FBI, not too long ago, he went on TV and said, yeah, I'm tired of the witchcraft that goes on in DC. He said this on TV.
The witchcraft?
He said the witchcraft that goes on in DC. So it's not like some tongue-in-cheek thing. I've never heard that term before.
So how did Epstein come to power? Was he already rich? Was he it just seemed like he came out of nowhere almost.
Yeah, he did. And the fact that, here's the thing, if you look into his history, nobody really knew where his money came from. Right. But the fact that he was heavily involved in MIT and Harvard, academics, I think that's where he really got his start. Only because to where it's easy to blackmail, a professor. Hey, you're sleeping with your students and, you're probably doing X, Y, and Z. I got you on tape. And then he just graduated into politics and entertainment and all these other people. So if you look at who his estate he took over, Les Wexner, that was his right-hand man. Okay? He was, it gets weird if it hasn't already, but they're saying they might have been lovers.
I believe it. At this point.
Because who leads your whole estate, your multi-billion-dollar estate? Because he had Victoria's Secret, Abercrombie & Fitch.
Yeah, that's odd. Because I think last time, we spoke about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And we said that he did have kids.
Yeah.
And he left everything to him.
He left everything to Epstein. That's weird. Okay? And the fact that, they had involvings in Abercrombie & Fitch. And if you look at Mike Jeffries, who the CEO they, put in place, he gets hit with charges for SA and trafficking and all this other stuff, right? Same time as Diddy was going down, and so it's You know, smoke, there's fire.
So what you will say is not 100% of the FBI governments are okay with the Epstein operation, but a few of them in high power know about it and kind of try to sweep it under the rug. But when it becomes too much, some, like, you know, the other side has to prosecute.
Yeah, I think two things can be true. I think that there's so much blood in the water when it comes to this whole, you know, blackmail and trafficking, and there's decades and decades of these files, right? There's hundreds of thousands. They said they only released like 2 gigs of the 300 gigs that they had of the files.
God damn, really? I bet fucking Bill Clinton is gonna be all over the other.
All over them.
Did Bill make a statement yet?
No. So they're it's funny because at first they asked Hillary and Bill to, you know, come, you know, testify and, hey, what do you know? They're like, nah, we're good. Okay, cool. Now we're going to subpoena you. Now you legally have to come to court. Okay? So now they have to go to court in February.
Oh, they do?
Yes.
Oh,
so man. Now we'll see what happens. But to what you're saying is that there's 2 things happening. I think that, yes, some people may be trying to, you know, they get in and trying to clean up what's going on. But also, there's 2 factions fighting at the top. Okay? Trump, the administration, a lot of people don't know that him and Epstein fell out in the 90s. Okay? So he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago and all that stuff. All that stuff happened. All that's documented. Probably over some, you know, some money, whatever else is going on. Does Trump know some stuff? Of course he does, because where's his name in the files?
They didn't mention him, right?
Of course not. So again, 2 things can be true. I think that there's infighting at the top. And are we going to see Trump's name? Don't know. Are they going to sanitize some of the files when they release the rest of the, you know, the whatever, like 298 gigs left?
So they plan on releasing all of it?
Yeah, they're saying in the coming weeks. So who knows what else is in there? I don't know. Like, are we going to see, you know,
video?
More I don't know, more redacted stuff?
The thing is, if there's explicit snut film video, they cannot release that shit. Even if it implements, like,
if it's child pornography, technically, I don't think they can, right?
I mean, I don't know the barriers on that. Maybe they probably can't. Maybe that's not a good look to do that. But they are redacting a lot of names. They're saying it's for the victims and the minors. And I think they're throwing out a lot of smoke and mirrors because we see Michael Jackson, Chris Tucker's in there. Okay?
Damn.
I seen a couple Kevin Spacey.
Now, but here's the thing. Kevin Spacey did get caught up. He got hit with some other charges.
To me, he don't have great history.
To me, once I saw Kevin Spacey next to Bill Clinton, I'm like, okay, both of them did that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a layup. Okay, the fact that we already seen that, and he tried to deny it too. He was like, "Well, I'm not sure. Really don't know." And then we see a picture with him and Ghislaine Maxwell laughing, sitting next to each other.
But it's interesting you mentioned about Trump and Epstein falling out, because then, from all the pictures I've seen of Donald Trump and Epstein is a certain time period.
Correct.
I don't think Apprentice Trump took a picture with Epstein.
Correct. And if you notice, all the earlier photos that you mentioned, those are like early 90s, mid 90s, but we don't see anything later.
Right.
So pay attention of what, isn't happening. So, but I'll say definitely Trump knows something. To what degree? Who knows?
Well, the trial of the guy who allegedly killed Charlie Kirk has commenced.
Yeah.
What do you think about it? He looks kind of happy.
Yeah, right? It's kind of weird.
He looks, it's very odd.
I mean, who goes on tape during a pretrial, knowing the camera's there, right? He's talking to his lawyer. They put this footage out. So the fact that this man is talking to his lawyer, the camera's like right here, okay? So it's not like you can't see it. He leans over and he goes, yeah, this whole thing is doing my head in. It's making me mental. And I just think about it every day. And I'm losing sleep. And I'm smoking all day. Couple problems with that. So for one, How are you smoking?
How are you smoking?
In a non-smoke facility? You can't smoke in jail. Okay? In Utah County, you can't smoke. It's strictly prohibited. That's one. Two, why are you talking like you're from the UK? It's doing my head in. Oh, it's making me mental. So all of a sudden you're English? Okay? So he's saying all this in front of the camera, right? He's looking very happy. It's almost like it doesn't match. Now, here's the thing. I looked into the lip reader who put this whole tape out because they have a lip reader, right? And the lip reading company is from the UK. Okay? So now we're paraphrasing in UK lingo? How is that accurate? Another point. Here's the thing, too. I looked into what type of technology that they use for accuracy. They use AI. They have AI capabilities to enhance it for accuracy. So you don't think that they're using AI to completely fabricate this whole thing because it doesn't match what he's saying. He's smiling, but he's saying, oh, yeah, I think about this every day. And yeah, this is horrible. He has a wife and what?
So is he an actor?
I think he is a patsy.
He's definitely that.
Okay. Because you got to remember, the school he went to has a CIA recruiting program. Okay. The Center for Anticipatory Intelligence. They have this program in his school that he went to. Then he goes there and drops out after a semester. So MK Ultra, is he under some type of mind control? It's something that they're controlling him of some sort, but it's not what it seems.
Real quick, did you see the footage of when they arrested the guy from, like, the guy who killed the medicine CEO?
The what? The Meta CEO?
Who was the medicine CEO?
Medicine? Oh, you talking about? I think you talking about the guy. Wait a minute.
The Italian guy who shot the guy in New York?
Yeah, the guy got. Remember the guy in New York shot? It wasn't the medical CEO. I can't remember what he was.
Oh, you're talking about United Healthcare.
Yeah,
United Healthcare.
yeah.
Oh,
Did you
Luigi
see
Mangione.
Yeah, have you seen his arrest footage?
Yeah, I did. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's very strange, and I think it's the same things going on. Somehow, some way, they're using these people in some type of, I don't know if it's mind control or some type of setup. Something is happening because it doesn't seem right. You go into a McDonald's, and the footage that you're talking about, they walk into the McDonald's. He's just sitting there chilling. You just smoke somebody. So you have a mask on, thinking that's gonna, cover you up and like, oh, I'm good with this mask. Right. You just chill in this McDonald's. Why are you still sitting there? Like, you're almost waiting to be picked up. So I think, and he was using a lot of codes too. So he used the 128 code. He used the 286 code. So
what are those codes? I'm not familiar.
Okay, so let me walk this down. So Luigi used a set of codes. Okay, so one code to where there is a denial code in the medical field. Okay, the 286 code. So in the medical field, if you don't, tell them, like, through insurance, hey, this is wrong, I need to, be reimbursed. Then if you don't tell them in a certain amount of time, they'll hit you with a denial code and you don't get paid out.
Gotcha. Okay,
the 286 code. Okay, so this code he used all through the whole shooting. So remember that bag that he left?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And they found the bag and had Monopoly pieces in it.
Mm-hmm.
Guess how many pieces Monopoly has?
How many?
216 pieces. Okay.
Okay.
So these pieces is like a code, right? 286. He had 286 pieces.
Okay.
286 pieces, the 286 code. So then he travels on Route 286 to go to the McDonald's. Okay. And then he follows a Pokemon, or he has a Pokemon logo on his Twitter. and that Pokemon number was 286. So on and so forth.
This has to be some type of computer glitch.
I think these things that all these coincidences are essentially glitches in the Matrix. This is why I say we live in a simulation. Because remember in the movie, the Matrix, where he's walking by the black cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the black cat, goes by again. And he's like, huh, that's funny. Deja vu. And then he's like, what'd you say? It's like, I saw a cat go by twice. It did the same thing. They're like, oh, wait, something changed in the Matrix. That's the clue right there.
Right.
Okay. So I think that's what's happening. So when we have these coincidences, something is happening in the simulation that we're in.
Have you had deja vu?
Yeah, for sure.
Have you?
Of course.
Just checking.
But I associated deja vu that I'm supposed to be here. What is it supposed to be associated with?
I think that deja vu could be some type of connection to either some type of past life or a parallel universe or yourself talking to yourself. Okay? Because there's studies that neuroscientists came out with and said that when we experience, a gut feeling, that's technically our consciousness talking to us from the future. Okay? Because our bodies are made of liquid crystals. The CIA declassified documents show this, to where, how like radio receivers, that they have crystals in them to receive. Okay? These same type of crystals exist inside of us. So are we getting signals from ourselves, from our second brain? Because our gut is called our second brain. So are we getting signals from ourselves from the future and be like, we shouldn't go in that room. I don't know if I should do this deal, or I don't like this person for no particular reason, but there's got to be something. Like, you have that feeling that you don't really can't understand. So could be that.
Going back to Charlie Kirk,
Yeah.
How do you feel about Erika Kirk now? Has your feelings changed? She's talking to Candace Owens.
She is.
I would love to hear your feeling on that interaction.
I still feel the same. So, I mean, the fact that they do this secret meeting, don't know what happened, don't know what that even means, right? Because I'm still riding for Candace, but being that she goes there, has this meeting, we don't know exactly what was said, only hearsay, right? Okay, fine. But she's still doing her tours. She's still, pushing this book that magically came out after he dies. Okay. Now, he talked about this book, but he never named it. Okay. Right. He said, back in April, he was working on a book. He was almost done with it. Okay, fine. But he never finished it. But it comes out after he dies. It's called Stop in the Name of God. So are we talking about maybe AI finishing that book? Because she's on a complete book tour, right? Saying, yeah, you need to stop. Candace, you need to stop. Just like the book, Stop in the Name of God. And I'm like, really? You gonna go right into the promo? So again, I don't trust her. I think that she is, she's one of the players in the chess game for sure.
Now, is it true that she got a settlement from his death of $50 million?
Allegedly, that's what they're saying. So they're saying that there was a huge life insurance policy,
right?
That was
That's
just put
a
on.
lot.
It's a lot, right? He was a big figure. So I think
that's a lot.
Yeah.
And she was the only recipient of that particular.
The children get something too.
Yeah, do they?
Do they?
Do they?
Yeah, so I'm saying. So I don't know. I think that, there's still a lot of weird things going on. I just don't trust her. I don't. And if you just, again, look into her history with the whole thing with the Romanian Angels. I don't know if you guys know about that and her organization.
I've heard about her organization, but not very specific to the point of Roman angels.
So she had a charity organization called Heroes Like Us. Okay. Now, this company was working in conjunction with Romanian angels. Okay. They were helping to fight trafficking in Romania. But there's reports from even some of the locals in Romania saying, yeah, this organization was actually doing trafficking themselves to cover. And the fact that she was working with a colonel named Otto Buscher, he gets hit with trafficking charges. So you mean to tell me that her organization, working with the army and this colonel who gets hit with these same charges, all comes together and you're right in the middle of it? So you're not related to it at all? Just saying.
Kind of reminds me of, I don't know, I have a brain fart today, but there was a movie by the guy who played Jesus Christ that the guy that it was based on, he was battling child trafficking. And then later they found out he was doing some child trafficking himself.
Are you talking about Sound of Freedom?
Sound of Freedom.
Okay. Yeah.
Did I butcher the story? Didn't he get arrested later?
There was a producer or something of some sorts that was linked to it, I believe. So I don't know like how true that is or, you know, the specifics of it, but I mean, I don't know.
There are people accusing Tebow about doing that shit because he's also stopping. But yeah, Tebow.
Tebow?
Yeah, no, there's rumors. It's not true.
Why? Because he's blowing the whistle?
Yeah.
And they're saying that he's using that as a cover?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's risky though, right?
Yeah, it is.
But I don't know. It could be. I mean, we've seen it before to where, I mean, there's even rumors of Mother Teresa allegedly being a trafficker.
Damn. Not Mother Teresa.
Because she had a lot of ties. And if you go down that rabbit hole, okay, saying that, you know, she was dealing with kids and a lot of kids went missing and, okay. So had dealings with the queen. Yeah.
Moving on to another tragedy. There was a Brown University shooter.
Yeah.
Recently, a couple people unfortunately passed away.
Yeah.
What have you heard about it?
Well, that whole thing was a red herring, a distraction. Let me tell you why. So this whole thing, to where they're telling us that a shooting happens at Brown University.
Right.
2 students get killed. Okay. Now the shooter, they said, screams Allah Akbar before he opened fires. That's one. So now they're saying 50 minutes down the road, this same killer actually kills this MIT professor who's working on nuclear fusion. Okay? So I think that was a distraction. While everybody was trying to scramble and figure out what was going on at Brown University, he went to go kill this scientist. Now, back to Brown. Did they tell you, did you see how they actually caught this guy?
How did they catch him?
So this is how I know it's bullshit. So there was a homeless guy who lived in the basement in one of the buildings at Brown University. He says he sees this suspicious guy in the bathroom, looks at his clothes and goes, yeah, your clothes really don't match the weather. It's kind of
shit is hilarious. The
suspicious.
homeless detective.
Homeless detective is
that
crazy.
That is not true. That's not true. He's trying to survive every single day.
Exactly.
Every minute of the day. He is not concerned.
That's what I'm saying. So all of a sudden, this homeless guy becomes a super sleuth.
Oh, God.
Did he make a phone call?
No, this is what he did. He posts on Reddit. And then he says, hey, you guys should look into this because I followed the guy out. He was suspicious. I chased him down. He ran away. He went to his car. His plates had a different set of plates from where they say it was from Florida. Right? So he posts all his whole dissertation on Reddit.
The homeless got phones now?
Some do actually.
So maybe it was Obama
I
phone.
didn't tell you, man. So he wasting his data plan
Yes.
to track down the unknown person.
Exactly. Gets even crazier
Come
though.
on. Okay.
So then they cracked the case because of this guy, right? This homeless guy. And mind you, there was a $50,000 reward. So maybe he was trying to get some money. Okay, kind of plausible. Whatever.
I hope they gave it to him because they didn't give his shit to the girl who ratted Luigi Mangione.
Oh, no?
No.
Damn. They never give awards.
No, she get shit. She got fired, I think.
So, again, going back to this homeless guy, they said they cracked the case. They get this guy, they get the shooter, right? Now, for one, the shooter, it's very interesting because his name was Claudio Manuel Valente. Because that's the shooter that they said. Valente.
Yeah.
But he says Allah Akbar.
Yeah.
How many Muslim radicals are in Portugal? I'm just saying. That's one. So another point is that, so he goes down the road and kills the MIT professor, right?
Right.
That's working on nuclear fusion. Now, this scientist, he was working on something big. He was, on the brink of a breakthrough. Okay. Now, you guys know what nuclear fusion is, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. The power of the sun and energy, right? So he was working on something called magnetic reconnection, which in layman's terms, very simply, like in a simplistic way, harnessing the power of the sun, clean energy, pretty much limitless energy. Okay. He was working on this. So I think that Brown University situation was a distraction because they didn't find the shooter for a while, but some homeless guy finds him. And then he goes down the road to go smoke the MIT professor that's on the brink of free energy. Okay. Now, mind you, the shooter that they caught, they look at his X account and he only has 79 followers. Anybody want to take a wild guess on who he was who was following him?
Who?
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama?
Why is he following the killer of the Brown University MIT? That's weird.
Wait, Barack Obama was following the killer?
Yes. I have a screenshot of it.
Shit.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So he says Allah Akbar. He's from Portugal. He goes to the same school as the MIT professor because they went to school together in the 90s in Portugal. We're all scrambling, trying to figure out what's happening at Brown University, which is a kind of like a random type of shooting, right? Like, It's like, why? And here's another thing too. Not one, but two students at Brown University who survived this shooting. They also survived two separate shootings. Are they crisis actors? Because one survived one in California, another one survived one in Florida. Now, school shootings, they do happen a lot. I'll say that. It's not a great stat to be proud of in America. But you have multiple students surviving this shooting who survived other shootings as well. Yes. And they're all over the media, just them two.
Yeah, sound like a plant.
I don't know. It's kind of weird. So, just saying, is that the shooter at all?
Why do you think they killed the MIT professor for working with fusion?
Well, he was on the the brink of that process that I was talking about, magnetic reconnection. So basically, it's these donut-shaped structures to where they trap in hot plasma. And then the way the sun works is the sun burns hydrogen into, fuses with helium, and that's how we get light and heat. Okay? So this process replicates that without the density of the sun. So we're talking about the power of the sun. Okay, because right now we're on fossil fuels, oil and gas. That completely wipes this out.
So get him out of the way before he gives out maybe free energy.
Yeah, because isn't it weird that right after he dies, Trump media does a merger deal with TAE Technologies for a nuclear fusion deal worth $6 billion?
How many days afterwards?
Right after. It was like a day after.
God damn.
Okay. That's not weird.
You think they stole his technology?
I don't know. But it's a coincidence. That's why they call me the coincidence specialist. I'm just saying.
And I just gonna say, really love the shirt.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I gotta get you guys some shirts.
Yeah, for sure.
Is it on your website?
Yeah. I'll leave you the link below.
Yeah.
Go grab those for sure.
So there's more shootings happening. This one in Australia. I thought they had like a gun ban in Australia, but Bondi Beach shooting.
Yeah.
Some people are saying it's staged. Some people are saying it's real. It involves our friends in the Jewish community. Mm-hmm. What have you heard about that shooting?
Yeah, so that's a very interesting scenario as well, because this is a day after the Brown University, situation. So there was a tweet by Candace Owens, the end of November. She states that there's going to be a 9/11 style attack. So she says, save this tweet. It'll age well. Okay. And she mentioned this. She said this is going to happen the second week of December. Now, lo and behold, second week of December comes along. Now we see the Bondi Beach thing happen and the Brown University thing happen. Okay. Now, key word. She says 9/11 style, not scale. Okay. Not the scale where thousands of people died. Style, because 9/11 was a false flag event. You guys know what false flag is? Mm-hmm. So false flag means the people are real. The whole situation and events are real. But who's and what is behind it, somebody's pulling the strings.
Got it.
Nothing is like actually what it seems. So it's a false flag event, okay? So she says the 9/11 event style type of, thing going on. So second week happens, Bondi Beach happens. Now, isn't it funny that we know who the shooters are right away, but we don't know who the Brown shooter is for days? And that happened before. There were almost two out in the public. They were shooting out there for like 20 minutes. I don't know if you saw the video.
Saw him getting tackled.
Yeah. So they were out there, just no mask, nothing, just shooting for 20 minutes, right? And this happened on the first day of Hanukkah. Okay. So, a lot of people got, unalived and whatnot. Tragic.
Yeah.
Now, isn't it weird that all this went down the same date as the anniversary at Sandy Hook? And who got in trouble for calling that event a false flag?
Alex Jones.
Alex Jones.
I was not going to lie to you. When we were talking about Brown University, I wanted to mention Sandy Hook, but then I kind of remembered that he got sued for billions of dollars.
That's what I'm saying. So that one's touchy because also, allegedly, there's some crisis actors that showed up in other situations that showed up in Sandy Hook. And here's the cherry on top too. So Bondi Beach, if you look at, Google Images, Google Earth, you zoom out, Bondi Beach. The outside of Bondi Beach is a hook. Now, what's on a beach?
Ships?
Sand.
Sand?
It's literally sandy hook.
That's terrible.
I don't know, man. Truth is stranger than fiction, so.
It is, especially recently.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like last few years, assassinations are back.
Yeah.
People who were, I remember somebody was complaining that there were now no assassinations anymore. Were they back?
Yeah, they're back. I mean, Charlie Kirk and they back in action.
Oh, talking about another assassination, Rob Reiner, his wife tragically passed away in the worst way in the hands of your own son. Allegedly.
Yeah.
But there were reports that the son was acting a fool the night before.
Yeah, I heard that.
Conan O'Brien party.
Yeah. Which is weird too, because Conan said he didn't call. He told everybody not to call 911 or something. That's what I heard at the party where they're like wigging out, and he was like, "Hey, you know, they stopped him from calling 911," which I thought was weird. Mm-hmm. But I mean, what do you guys think about that situation? I'm gonna give you my thoughts.
Yeah. I'll start by this. He was a great filmmaker. He made very good movies. He was known to be anti-Trump. Mm-hmm. He stated his political, he was going to make a documentary soon about it. It's sad that he died. I enjoyed him in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he was good in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
He was good.
It's a sad situation, but I don't know. I'm curious to what you researched, what you found.
What do you think?
Pretty much the obvious. Everything that he mentioned, I was keyed in on. I know he was loved by many. Everyone loved him. Right. Everyone liked him. I've seen so many people post, a bunch of nice things about him. And I just, that's all I really know. Yeah. He was a great guy, allegedly.
Right. You guys don't think it's weird that he met with the former heads of CIA on film? Did you guys see that?
I didn't see that.
He sat down with the head of national intelligence and a former CIA director.
When?
So this is in a film. This is like a documentary that he did. And he sat down talking about the future of America. What are we going to do with Trump and all this other stuff?
Oh, this is recent.
Yeah. That's weird. Okay? Like, you could have sat down with anybody, but you're sitting down with the CIA?
And the CIA letting you.
Now, they're former, but you're never really out.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's kind of odd. But what I did find strange is that Rob Reiner, they said allegedly his son stabs him to death along with the wife. Okay?
That's tough.
It's tough.
That's his real parents, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
That's tough. That's like some Menendez brother shit. Okay?
Yeah.
All over again.
Mike Myers.
Yeah. So, isn't it kind of weird that all these celebrities were dying in a short amount of time? I don't know if you guys noticed, but within that whole week, right before the Epstein files dropped, all these celebrities start getting knocked off. So you have Rob Reiner, you have Peter Green, you have Anthony Gary, you have Jubilant Sykes, the opera singer, who also got killed by his own son by being stabbed to death. Okay? So all these people just in a short amount of time. Now, I know people die every day, but within a week, tragically. Now, what did they know? I'm not saying it's connected to the Epstein files, but we have about, 298 gigs left in those files that they haven't released yet. Are we going to see some names? Or do they know people? Or do they know some of the victims or other information? Who knows? Because all these people are getting knocked off violently or overdosing. So
a lot of people are overdosing.
Right. So maybe they're not handling this whole thing well because they knew this was coming out. Because if you notice, like we said, 2 gigs were just released. We saw the low-hanging fruit. Mick Jagger was in there, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates.
Usual suspects. We have a
lot of runway to go. So are we going to see Rob's name in there? Or if we're not going to see the names, are we going to see that they were in connection and knew some other information? So, I don't know. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Just saying. But, yeah.
What do you think about the Sharon Tate murders? Because this kind of reminds me a little bit.
It does.
About it. And then the CIA involvement in that.
Correct.
Some people say they're responsible. Some people say they intentionally let Charles Manson out of jail all the time because he was going to cause chaos.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that situation?
Well, that's documented. I mean, if you just study history, you can kind of see what's going to happen in the future, right? History repeats itself. How is it far-fetched that the CIA would be involved in all these situations that we're talking about? And people are like, oh, yeah, that's bullshit. But it happened in the 60s. Okay? Manson was part of a MK Ultra group.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you study that whole situation, because Manson, technically, he didn't put hands on anybody. He didn't do anything.
Right.
But he was orchestrating. Okay? So it's a psychological thing. So if you understand and look at that situation, it's like, well, they're definitely doing it at a more highly advanced. I think they're using frequencies now, to be honest. I think they're using frequencies.
To control people?
Yes, because what do we have on our phone, on our hips every day? Our phones, right?
You got computers, TVs.
Correct. How easy is it to send a signal to your phone to make you wig out and go do something and nobody's in the wiser?
That's interesting.
It's the easiest way now, right?
To get to everybody.
To get to everybody all at once. So it's more advanced. So I think that these people that we're seeing, Luigi and, Tyler Robinson, they could be under these programs. It's just a more advanced, version of it.
And just how the CIA, I feel like they're behind all the people being so radical nowadays. Like, they're somehow involved in that, in sending out messages that we either send somebody to the left or to the right. They probably own the fucking Reddit group, and we just don't know.
Exactly. I mean, all the technology that we use today is from DARPA, which is a part of the government, which they handle all of our military defensive systems, offensive systems. They create all the technology that we use today. The first self-driving car was in 1984 by DARPA. Okay? So all the stuff that we think is brand new and amazing, they've been had all this stuff. That phone you have is from DARPA. Facebook, Meta, yeah, that's all DARPA tech. They all work for the government. Why do you think it's free? Because you're the product. Okay, so the fact that they're giving us ChatGPT and all this great technology, isn't it great? Man, they had this shit 30 years ago.
Is DARPA American?
DARPA is part of the government, yes. Think of it like S.H.I.E.L.D. Marvel?
Yeah.
They're S.H.I.E.L.D. Okay, they're like part of the shadow government, which they get all their funding from something called the black budget, which essentially is above the government. They don't listen to Congress or the POTUS seat. They can greenlight any project that they want from the black budget. And then just like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do this now. We don't have to have, the president sign off, Congress, nobody.
And this is going to sound stupid, but I assume to get in that group with the black budget, you don't get elected.
No, not at all. And then, presidents aren't elected, they're selected. And this is why the for the eighth time in a row, the Pentagon fails an audit. Surprise, surprise. They just failed an audit again. So all that money, right? This is what, think about 9/11. So we get hit. Some grainy ass footage of this plane, frame by frame, hits the Pentagon in the accounting department.
Yeah. 2 trillion was 2
trillion gone like that. Coincidence? I think not.
It's always the goddamn grainy footage.
So we can see stars billions of miles away. But we always got some grainy footage. Same thing with the Brown University. They had some piece of grainy footage.
So you don't think it was no planes hit it? I never got your perspective on that.
Oh, 9/11?
Yeah, 9/11.
I think planes did hit it, but there is a piece of footage that's very questionable. There's one piece of footage from up top, but this guy is literally on ground zero, and you see the second plane. And what's happening is that the plane doesn't hit the building. It just disappears into the building, and then you see an explosion. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, I seen that. That was disappointing.
It's weird, right?
Yeah.
And it's just the fact that we're seeing this, but can we believe our own eyes?
It reminds me of Spider-Man 3 with the new Tom Holland
Mysterio.
one. Mysterio.
Yeah.
So Mysterio, he has devices that make it look like illusions, 3D, things are happening, and the explosions are real because he has like robots kind of like blowing shit up, but it's not a real plane or real cat. It's just like he blows shit up, but makes it seem like it's something that it's not, like a monster.
And that's a great point, because what did we see all last year at the end of the year?
Aliens.
Drones. Okay, you said drones because in the movie, those drones were projecting a reality. So are we really seeing something? Because again, all these drones are flying around, it's weird. And all this weird stuff was happening, like aliens and this and that. And that's the thing with aliens too. A lot of the aircrafts that we see that were UAPs and UFOs, those are actually military officials. That's reverse engineered alien technology that we're using. Okay.
Do you think at some point they're going to let the world know that there are aliens amongst us?
Yeah. Why do you think Steven Spielberg is dropping a movie next year called Disclosure Day? Okay. You guys seen that trailer, right?
I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking for it now.
Yeah, look for it. Now, a couple things. So, Steven Spielberg, he has to be an agent for sure.
He made Contact, no?
Yes.
Wait a minute. What do you mean he's been contacted?
No, there's a movie he made, famous movie.
Okay, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah.
Contact.
I was like, okay, there's somebody. Okay.
And then if you look at Close Encounters of the Third Kind and all these other things.
Right.
So let me break this down. So there's a movie called Disclosure Day that's coming out next summer. Now there's a trailer where this reporter, she's on live television telling the news and the weather, and all of a sudden she glitches out and she starts to speak this dialect that we've never heard before. It's like clicking and humming, and people are like, the fuck is this? So she is being channeled through somehow through these aliens, and they're speaking their language through her. Okay. Now, I always find it interesting, like every time we see these types of movies, like, Disclosure Day or Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Contact, or, even Back to the Future predicted 9/11, and all these movies, it always happens. Okay. I mean, look at Obama's movie, Leave the World Behind. That movie came out. Everything in the movie the next year happens. Okay. So are we going to get Disclosure next year? It's possible.
Yeah, fucking Avengers predicted that, like COVID, because
The blip.
yeah,
Yeah.
a bunch of people are just gonna disappear.
Yeah. Everybody disappears. The world stops. That's what happened during COVID.
Now, this is an old topic, but I wanted to get your perspective on it as far as crop circles. What is that? This has been going on for ages, and everyone skips it and tries not to address it, but these are like perfect circles.
Right.
Things that can't be man-made. Obviously, something else is doing it. What's your impression of those things?
I think two things could be happening. One of them could be that, again, we're using reverse engineered alien technology. And if you look at, for one, I mean, not only it's real, but now you can invest into it. There's a company called Tuttle Capital, to where they just registered with the SEC for a basket of technologies to invest in that is based on reverse engineered alien technology. This is on the stock market.
That's a company?
This is on the stock market. Okay.
And this is their description of the company on the stock market.
Correct.
It says reverse technology from alien ships or whatever.
Correct.
And what is it called again?
Tuttle Capital.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Looking this one up.
So this is what they registered with the SEC. Okay. So crop circles, are we using technology that we've gotten from other beings? Because there seems to be a quantum leap that happened after World War II. Okay. So if you look at, from the 40s and then 20 years later, we're on the moon, that's a massive leap in technology. Now, of course, you guys know my thoughts on the moon. We did go, but what they showed on TV were two different things.
Right.
That was a Hollywood production on TV, and then some other shit was happening in the background. Okay. But these crop circles could be that we're testing this technology. Or it could be just signs, like the movie signs, to where we're getting signals and signs showing the human race there's more beings in the universe than just us. Because these circles are like, we don't have the technology today to create these circles.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's no way.
They're massive.
They're massive.
And they're perfect.
Yeah. Because they measured them. Geometrically, it's impossible. Yeah. So there has to be some type of otherworldly technology either way.
Right. And they're constantly popping up.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Wag the Dog?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah.
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 It's basically the president has a cheating scandal, so they bring in this filmmaker to basically create a war that is happening in the other side to distract people.
See what I mean?
That's crazy to me.
Yeah. Hold on. So even during the Bondi shooting, there was a picture that came out from a lawyer named Arsen Chajofagiz or something like that. Like, I'm probably butchering his name. His name is Arsen, and he was a lawyer. He was on Bondi Beach. The picture that they showed, he's all bloody, but he has time to take a selfie. I'm like,
yeah, that's odd.
And get this. He also survived another attack. Okay? The October 7th attack in Israel. So that whole war that's going on now, yeah, he survived that too. Interesting.
He's being targeted. I'm going to move to Australia.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. So, yeah, Hollywood's definitely in the government.
What do you think about the Diddy documentary? Did you get a chance to watch it?
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing. It was really great. I think that's probably still the tip of the iceberg, to be honest, because Diddy was moving around for, 30 plus years?
Mm-hmm. I was expecting more sinister stuff from Diddy. Because when you hear about all the parties, and we had somebody from the record company saying, like, yeah, everybody was fucking in the rooms.
Yeah.
I feel like there's big names that were omitted.
Yeah, for sure. Well, even in the case, those freak off tapes, they said there was other celebrities that were involved. They showed it in court.
They showed the tapes?
They showed the tapes in court.
So you could see the other celebrities involved?
Yes.
But did they ever specify who those celebrities were?
No, they were redacted. Okay? So we can't get names of these other celebrities involved. That's what I'm saying. Tip of the iceberg. Okay? Now, the way he got on, though, I believe that Diddy was doing rituals. Sex magic, rituals, because let me tell you why. So, in the documentary, they show that he did, way earlier on, that celebrity game.
Oh, celebrity, yeah.
Okay? And really, if you pay attention, nobody really knew who Puff was. He was starting to bubble a little bit. Mm-hmm. But after that game, then what happened? To the moon. His name was everywhere. That's how he really got on. Okay? He got famous after that.
To me, the crazy thing about the documentary, and they alluded to, even though I have mixed feelings about it, every time somebody died around him, he became bigger.
Bingo. That's what I mean. How is he the only one that's rich out of the whole bad boy regime? So think about this. Biggie dies. Craig Mack dies. Black Rob dies. You know, if you didn't die, then you're getting out of there broke. Mace got out of there and he went to the church.
He went to God. He came back. And then, you know, he's doing his thing.
The one thing that I notice about, always look, first of all, I look exactly to what you kind of just pointed out is who else got rich with him? No one got rich around Diddy. So that means Diddy definitely holds the carrot and puts it in front of people. And people who tend to do that, they never, ever pay anybody.
Yeah.
And he never paid anybody anything.
No, that's how he got rich. He took everybody else's money.
Took everything from everybody.
Yeah. How is it that all these people have all these accounts to where he was stealing and doing all this kind of other stuff, and then so everybody's wrong? His own assistant on the documentary said, yeah, hop in. We're going to go kill Kid Cudi.
She got in the car.
I
didn't understand that. I was like, yeah.
So you're going to... So yeah, and then then what happens to Kid Cudi's car? Blows up. So 1 + 1 has to equal 2.
So who do you think Diddy is? And yeah, who do you think he is? As far as like, you know, is he an agent? Does he work for the CIA? Is he another Epstein? Who is he?
He's definitely the Black Epstein, for sure.
That's who he is.
Think about this. You have 2 billionaires running around in New York in the same circles and they don't know each other. There's no way. Because Diddy knew Bill and Hillary. Okay, remember that whole vote or die thing that he was pushing?
I remember that.
And then who did like millions of dollars go to what campaign? From Epstein, the Democratic Party. Okay? So he was heavily tied. Okay? They were both heavily tied to politics, musicians, and, you know, all these powerful people. So there's no way they didn't know each other. For sure they did. They knew how to blackmail people. They knew how to get over on people.
Where did Diddy learn his skills from?
Clive Davis. For sure. Like when he started out, he was under Clive Davis, and then he was under Clive Davis. Okay?
I thought he was with Andre Harrell.
He was too, but if you really look at the power players, really look at it. I mean, Andre Harrell's out of here too. But if you really look at, you know, Clive Davis and, you know, his whole track record and all this other stuff, really pay attention to who he's hanging around and getting this money from, because that's who gave him his first deal. Mm-hmm. You know, to break off and do his thing.
Clyde.
Yes.
So when Harrell fired him, Clyde gave him the money to move forward?
Yeah, for Bad Boy. So,
do you think that he killed Diddy? I mean, not Diddy, but Biggie.
Who, Diddy?
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of weird that he tells Biggie to stay in LA when Biggie was like, I want to get out of here. And then he says, you know what? That UK trip that you're about to go on? Yeah, cancel that. Whole promo tour, that first time that Big was ever going to go to Europe, he cancels it. You're going to stay in LA behind enemy lines after Tupac dies. Yeah, that's pretty smart. Just saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. Okay? Then, when he gets word that Big was going to be on the cover of Rolling Stones, he says, nah, ixnay that. I want to be on the cover of Rolling Stones. Just pay attention to his album names. Ready to Die. Who do you think came up with that? No Way Out. No Way Out? Sounds pretty fucking nefarious to me.
Born Again, Life After Death.
Off the Grid. His last album, like I want to get out of here, like Love Island and all that stuff, where he said he had an island just like Epstein. Come on. Oh. And that other album, Press Play. Now, what do you do when you blackmail somebody and you want to show them a tape? You press play. Hey, sit down, press play. Look what you did.
Now, just to venture to some old conspiracies, there's some new documents that came out that said Hitler did not die in 1945.
Right.
That he faked his death, went to Argentina.
Correct.
Is that true?
Yeah, there's declassified documents that just came out and showed that Hitler didn't die where they said he died. He went to South America. Now, if you go to, Argentina and Chile, there's actually Nazi towns and regimes down there, like with swastikas everywhere.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so this is real. You can go down there now and see this.
It's still there?
It's still there to this day. I'm just saying. So, yeah, that's true. Even the president of Argentina released documents of his own showing this. And then even that body that they found where they said he unalived himself, yeah, that was a female body. That wasn't even him.
So they knew he was alive. So why did America allow him to continue to exist?
I mean, why did they do Operation Paperclip, where they took Nazi doctors and scientists and integrate them into America?
Well, I know they wanted the information from what they discovered when they were doing all these scientific discoveries, with people and other things. I know they wanted that, but why would they let Hitler live? What would be the purpose behind that?
If you wanted to get the recipe of a secret family, soup, you're not going to ask the kids or the cousins or anybody. You got to go ask grandma herself. Mm-hmm. So you're going to go to the source. So, hey, what did you find out when XYZ happened? What type of technology were you using for this? Yeah, you're going to give us everything you knew, all your resources. Where's that hidden gold that you took? Okay? We're going to keep you on, a tight leash until we get all the information extracted out of you. Because that's a great question. Why would they live?
Yeah.
Let him live, right? So I think that they were probably either A, working with him, or B, if they didn't know, maybe other people were trying to do the same. Like maybe, South America, they were, whatever countries were down there involved with him, keeping him alive to extract information, resources, gold, whatever else. So one of the two. Somebody was keeping him alive for sure, because they knew.
Shit. Cannot believe anything nowadays.
I don't know what's going on anymore. I have no clue.
Because what's interesting about, since we're talking about Nazis and we talked about Steven Spielberg,
Yeah.
like the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Mm-hmm.
You saw like the ending where they're trying to find the lot, like, and they open it up and it takes souls. That shadow realm of aliens, is that how they? Because I've heard that's why people take drugs, like mushrooms, that they take you to another dimension that you're able to talk to the other side, which are the aliens.
Right.
I don't know if this is just a ramble, but I just remember Spielberg directed a movie.
Man, Spielberg has a lot of movies that predict a lot of things. If you think about it, like, so going back to like Back to the Future and whatnot, like you guys know that 9/11 is in Back to the Future?
No.
Yeah. So check this out. So when Marty goes to see Doc the first time, when he's about to show him the DeLorean, time travel. So he gets there at 1:16 a.m. Okay. At the Twin Pines Mall. Okay. You flip that. What do you get? 9/11. 1:16, 9/11. Okay. At the Twin Pines Mall. What else is twins? The Twin Towers. Okay. And then when he's about to send the dog, Einstein, 1 minute into the future, they show the clock. It's at 1:19 a.m. Okay? Reverse it, 9/11 again.
And it's a movie about time travel.
And it's a movie about time travel. Now, when he comes back the second time, it's the Lone Pine Mall. Because Marty runs over the pines, like when he goes back into 1955, it's a pine field. He runs over one of the pines, right? Because it was two twin pines. He runs one of them over. Now it's one. He goes back. Now it's the Lone Pine Mall because he changed history. Now, what stands to this day instead of the Twin Towers?
World Trade Center?
The One World Tower. It's one tower now. That's representative of what happened. So, Steven Spielberg, he don't miss. He does a lot of movies. Of course, you know, I think he did Close Encounters of the Third Kind, I believe.
Yeah, and he did an AI movie too. That it was supposed to be Stanley Kubrick who directed that movie. And then he died, and then he took over the project.
Yeah.
I think it's called AI.
Okay. Yeah, but I believe he did. Did he do Close Encounters of the Third
Yeah, I'll
Kind?
check. Close. Maybe he didn't do Contact. Who did Contact?
He did a lot of alien movies, I'm just saying. And then
So he did, yeah. He did.
Close Encounters?
Yeah, he did
Okay.
Close Encounters.
So those aliens in that movie, they actually found aliens in South America, in Peru, called the Tridactyls. Okay? If you A and
They
B,
found aliens?
they found aliens, yes. They're called these reptilian-looking beings that are 4 and 5 foot tall with 3 fingers, called the Tridactyls. Okay? They're mummified. Now, if you A and B that with the Tridactyls and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, it's literally the same face. So, again, Spielberg doesn't miss.
And the funny thing, okay, so he didn't make Contact, Spielberg. Robert Zemeckis did Contact.
Who also did Back to the Future.
Who did Back to the Future.
There you go. I'm telling you, they always tell you in the movies, man. It's always in the movies.
What's your feeling on Trump? Because I know you were a big supporter in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And what's your thoughts on him now, as far as where you are? Like,
Some people
he
are
seems to be deteriorating.
Some people are saying
degree.
that they put the vice president in because they wanted him. He wouldn't get elected, but they want him running things. JD Vance.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like almost like a sleeper cell.
Yeah, it's starting to look like that because as time goes on, right, you look at his health. They're saying his health is starting to, decline.
Right.
He's not as sharp as he was. I mean, he's 80 years old, right? Now, yeah, I think that I did vote for Trump, and the fact that now he's doing certain things that's questionable, you're like, is he really in control? Like, after that whole assassination attempt on his life, was that a signal, like a sign, like, hey, you better get in line?
He changed after that.
He changed after that. Okay? Now really pay attention, because look at what happened not too long after. Charlie Kirk, he gets smoked because he was starting to change his tune and whatnot.
He was changing.
So I think that after they made an attempt on his life, he had no choice. And now we have JD Vance, who's tied to big tech money. Now, if you look at his background, all his connections, all his support is from big tech. His investments, he made numerous investments in all these tech companies. Okay? So, and then Erika Kirk. She says, nobody can fill my husband's shoes, but JD Vance, he's pretty close. And then she just came out and said that, hey, let's all support and rally behind JD Vance because he's going to be the next president in 2028. It's a weird thing to say because, I mean, you're already talking about the next president. We got 3 more years of Trump.
On the Democratic side, who's the up and coming possible president in your eyes?
They're trying to push Gavin Newsom. I call him Gavin Newscom. So, I mean, they're trying to push him.
I feel like, yeah, that's the only one that I kind of see.
He doesn't like remind you guys of the guy from, American Psycho at all.
Has the hair like him?
He looks like him. He looks just like him to me. He looks like a psychopath.
Oh, man.
I mean, the fact that he did a terrible job here in California to where there's no water in the fire hydrants. Like, come on. Just saying.
This is a little off topic, but did you get to see the Jake Paul fight?
I did.
What was your thoughts on that?
That was terrible.
Man, he set boxing back about 50 years.
Bro.
That's a hyperbolic.
He set it forth in the first place.
I mean, people were talking about boxing. He got Anthony Joshua his biggest payday.
I've never seen a boxer wrap their arms around someone's leg during a fight 5 to 7 times. It was crazy.
Yeah, it was like ballroom dancing. It was like.
But you know what I think? This is what I think, and you might enjoy this.
Okay.
I think he picked a fighter that he knew he was going to lose to, and that's his whole play.
Why?
You know what's crazy? As a boxer, as a competitive person, you would never ever post you getting beat up. You would never ever talk about he broke my jaw twice. This is all the stuff that he's putting on his page.
Right.
He's putting, like, he's not a competitive person. Like, he wants to relive that disaster that happened yesterday.
Right.
And I don't understand what he's doing exactly, because a competitive person that wants to win every single thing that they do, that's the way athletes kind of look at life. They want to win at everything.
Right.
This dude is constantly promoting his failure, and right. I think he knew he was going to lose. I think he won the last for a certain amount of rounds.
He did, yeah. What was it like? So what? 6 rounds?
It was 6.
Okay, so 6 rounds out of what? 8.
8.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you think that he had to survive a certain amount of rounds to get a paycheck?
I think he did.
Because they said he got $95 million for that fight.
He might have got more.
Probably even more.
It was between 184 and 267 million that they were going to split evenly. I think he had to last. And it seemed that way, the way he was running around. And even to the point where, I don't know if you guys caught it, where it seemed like he was limping and he couldn't go more.
Right.
And he was like, I'm fine. And even they show instances where he's like looking up at the clock and things like that. I think that he picked a fight that he was going to lose, and he was okay with it because he was going to get $100 million for it. And he had to last a certain amount of time, maybe even for them to run a certain amount of commercials that had to be played during that time period to make it all work.
Now, do you think Anthony Joshua knew this too?
I think Anthony Joshua was a pawn in this whole thing.
He wasn't aware?
I don't think that he was aware.
He just wanted to check.
He wanted to check. This is the biggest check that he ever got in his whole entire life for fighting. He will never see another one like that unless he's fighting a rematch to Jake Paul. But it doesn't look like Jake Paul will ever fight again.
Yeah. I mean, he had the pendant where it said Poly Market. You guys see that?
I seen the pendant. I didn't know what it said.
It's Poly Market. So
what's Poly Market? What's that?
Poly Market is a predictive betting platform.
That's why he was wearing that?
Yeah, he got paid.
I was wondering. I was trying to figure out, why is he wearing that? Because to me, when you know he's from England, the kind of way he moves, the way he speaks.
Yeah, why was he wearing that?
Why was he wearing that chain? Like, that doesn't seem like the demeanor that he would actually have. And I found it odd. But you know what else I found odd? This motherfucker didn't want to leave the stage.
He didn't.
He was the last person to leave. He literally thanked every single person that was in that fucking arena.
That was weird too.
And I thought that was super odd.
Yeah.
I didn't know if he needed, now that you say that he was promoting the chain, did he want to be out there, or did he say he would be out there for a certain amount of time, because they kept the camera on him and they kept showing him with this big old chain on. So that actually makes sense, because literally everybody was gone. The ref was gone.
Yeah, everybody was out.
Security was gone. He was going through the crowd taking pictures. He took a picture with everybody. This shit was crazy.
He did.
I was like, why is he still there?
Yeah. And then I looked, I was like, what does that pendant say? And it said Polymarket. I'm like, oh, that's the same sponsor on his shorts. So Polymarket had a big play in that. But here's another thing too. Could it be that Jake, not him himself, but some of his peers, placed bets and said, hey, I'm going to last 6 rounds.
All day.
Yeah, I think by the 4th round, I'm like, okay, he's cooked. But he felt like that's why he kept, trying to tackle him. It's
right.
Like, how much time can I buy?
How much time?
Listen, he was holding on literally.
Yeah, for life.
And, yeah.
for dear life.
For dear life. And I was just like, this is so odd to watch.
Yeah.
Like, he was literally trying to use up that time on the clock.
Even when it started, it was just like he was just dancing around. He wasn't really trying to go at him. He was like, there's no way I'm beating him. Let me just survive.
Yeah. So the first 2 rounds, he dodged him as much as he could.
Right.
And the 3rd round, he was definitely tired. The 4th round, he was exhausted. I don't know how he lived through the 5th. And the 6th, he finally
he's like, okay, you can punch me.
Listen, the thing that I thought was even funnier, and everybody knows boxing is so important to keep your hands up. This motherfucker
kept his hands down.
His hands was down the whole goddamn fight.
The whole time.
And I was just like, I know, and I've boxed before, so it's hard as fuck to keep your hands up. He wasn't even prepared for that. Now, this is the one thing that I told him. Did you ever notice when he was about to fight Tank, when they did their face-off? Do you remember that one?
I do.
So Tank did this. He reached out and slapped his back arm. Mm-hmm. And it went like this, and he pointed it out. Everybody needs to go back and watch that. And Tank realized as a fighter, the one thing that you would probably have together is your arms. Mm-hmm. And he noticed it. He noticed that he wasn't working out. He wasn't doing everything that he would do to prepare for the fight. And I think he also mentioned, at least one of the things they talked about him mentioning, he was like, you're having plastic surgery. Mm. I think that Jake Paul is a complete fraud. I don't think that he ever prepared for any fight. I think everything he does is hype and to build up that momentum and get that money, even to a point that I don't think that he prepares for any fight.
It doesn't look like it. Look at his body. Yeah. He even said it in the post interview. He was like, "Yeah, my cardio wasn't up. You didn't have to tell me that."
Yeah, you're about to go fight Godzilla. The one thing that you would do is get that cardio up so you can get the fuck out the way.
Okay, to his defense, he was supposed to fight Gervonta Davis, so he probably got really big, and then he pulled out. This fight got made like in the last month. It was extremely short turnaround. He had to bring it in because the deal he had with Netflix.
I think what it is with Gervonta Davis figured him out. He knew. If you go back and watch that, I'm telling you, Gervonta is looking at his body. He's like, he's not doing.
Yeah, he's not doing the work.
He's not doing the work.
You could look. You could tell.
You could watch the way he looks at it.
Yeah.
He's like, you're not doing it.
He's too flabby.
He figured something out. He knew that everything he does
You're still
is
mad that he beat Mike Tyson, huh? You're still mad about it.
Well, here's the thing. That's a great theory. Only because if Tank found out, right, he was like, oh, they really want me to take a dive.
Right.
Because he's not training. That's one. Two, going into this new fight, they made a new deal, he was just like, look, ain't no way everybody's going to think that I'm going to beat you. There's no way. So let's just make it like drawn out as far as we can. Let's get paid. And that's the end of the day.
Right.
Because Tank is way smaller.
Way smaller.
So it's more easy to believe that Jake will knock him out versus him knocking Joshua out.
Right.
That's a great point.
And him fighting if he would have knocked Joshua out, everybody would threw away their goddamn TV.
I would have canceled Netflix.
Everybody wouldn't watch
the
Netflix.
app.
Yeah, they would be like, this is the most bullshit ever.
Ever.
Yeah, it just, that whole thing. But I'm telling you, if you go watch that Tank, I would love to interview Tank and see his impression during that face-off. I wonder what he's saying. And then I went to go look for Tank's page to see if he commented on it.
Yeah.
His deactivated.
Well, he's dealing with some shit.
It's deactivated.
He's dealing with,
I thought he would at least turn it on then and make a comment about that fight. He didn't say one single word, and I'm telling you, he tapped that underarm. He was like, "You're not working."
Yeah, he looked flabby though. He did look flabby.
Yeah, and out of shape. But since we mentioned Netflix, is there something nefarious going on with them trying to buy Warner Media?
Well, somewhat yes, because if you understand what IP is, right, intellectual property, and how important that is, think about, the 100+ years of what, Warner Brothers has. Batman, Superman, Bugs Bunny, you got The Sopranos and Harry Potter. They have so much. So Netflix has an AI department, okay? So they actually have an AI department that use, language translation in real time, a bunch of other stuff that they're doing with AI. So what do you think that they can do with all that IP with AI? They can recreate a whole entire universe in a split second. Okay? You can create a whole Batman universe, whole Superman universe. No actors. Because AI is so good now to where you can recreate anything at any time. Fraction of the cost. Okay? So just think about that. Think about how they can train their AI on that intellectual property. Over 100 years of footage and pictures and everything, and just feed it to their AI. Hey, create this for the next season and whatnot. We already seen this in Black Mirror. Hope you guys know that. There was an episode where they had something called Streamberry. It was a parody of Netflix, where they were using a quantum computer to recreate life. And the girl who was involved in it, she accidentally signs away her likeness to the company. She goes home and watches Netflix, and she's watching herself on Netflix or Streamberry. So, now, fast forward. We're talking about Netflix and Warner Brothers using AI, training their AI. How fast and how violent is, the streaming wars is going to be with, AI involved. Okay? And Black Mirror always shows you. Black Mirror, if you guys watch that whole thing with quantum computers, and they tell so much. The social credit score system, everything they put in Black Mirror is predictive programming, and it comes out.
Man, the one thing that they did in Black Mirror that I thought was the funniest shit in the fucking world that they would definitely do is when the person needed that. They needed some kind of, I can't remember what it was. They needed something to stay alive, and they kept reciting commercials at certain times of the day. And then they had to up their subscription if they wanted to be commercialless. And the husband didn't have the money to pay it. So at certain times, she would just go into this whole spiel about saying a commercial. That thing was crazy, man.
It was.
I was sitting there, I was like, that's exactly what they would do.
Right. I mean, that's a next wave of how to tap into marketing and advertising.
It was wild.
Yeah, that one was crazy.
Yeah, that was tripping me out.
So your whole life is on subscription, and you can only go so far out of the radius, And be like, we got the premium package now.
There
and then
you go.
the platinum package. They kept upgrading like, damn, we can't afford this.
Yeah.
And dude had to do like all this like nefarious shit online to keep up with the payments. And he was taking out his teeth and paying for shit. And it was crazy. Yeah. I see that happening.
Oh,
The other thing I see happening is there's a John Hamm episode where I feel like you're connected to the internet with your eyes. And then if you're an asshole, they can basically blur you out of reality. Let's say you're seeing me, but
Right.
I did some fucked up shit and I'm blurred out and you cannot even see me.
Right. Yeah. Technology can get spooky, man.
Yeah,
Especially
man.
when they're trying to integrate it into human beings. So
Yeah, I know they're gonna, because we got Meta AI, Ray-Bans. I know we're test dummies. I know they're using our data for some shit.
I saw y'all's commercial. I like that commercial.
But fuck it. I saw recently Russell Crowe on the Joe Rogan podcast.
Okay.
And I don't know how much you know about Gaddafi, but they're saying that the real reason they killed him, the U.S. government kind of created a civil war, was because he was trying to nationalize oil.
Yeah.
And basically cut United States off the oil.
Yeah. He was trying to cut the petrodollar.
Yeah.
At that time, Libya didn't have a central bank. They had zero debt. He had a bunch of gold. So, anytime, if you look at any country that doesn't have a central bank, isn't it funny they always go into war? Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden they have a central bank and then, we're liberating the people. Are you? Or you just want your bank there? Because that's how they control, the world supply through, and control and power through central banking.
When did that start, central banking?
Central banking started, if you look at 1913 of what happened in, America, right? So the Federal Reserve came into play. Now the Federal Reserve is a bank owned by other banks. And if you look at, the BIS, if you look at the IMF, so, International Monetary Fund in DC. So these entities, they control the monetary supply globally. They sustain the global economy, if you will, but they also control it through central banking. So that's when we gave up our sovereignty, gave up our power, when we start to give our power to these private entities like the Federal Reserve. And it's kind of weird that, a year before, Titanic sank with all those bankers who didn't like the Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
Right? And then if you look into the BIS over in Basel, in Switzerland, they actually were created to handle reparations after the World War. But now they're, handling settlements and creating the banking standard globally for everybody. So if you don't have a central bank, okay, well, can't help you. But if you do, okay, we'll give you some infrastructure. We'll give you some loans. You got to pay it back, though.
What's your thoughts on Monsanto's?
Man, the whole food supply is fucked.
Talk about it.
Yeah, like if you look at all these companies like Monsanto's, and there are a bunch of companies owned by other companies. There's only a few companies that run our food supply. It's an illusion of choice. If you go to the store, you see a bunch of brands, right? Like even with the whole thing with Campbell's soup. Remember the whole thing that just came out with Campbell's soup,
Right.
with the 3D printed meat. Okay.
Yeah, I was so upset.
Yeah. I hope you weren't eating that shit before.
No, I definitely wasn't eating it before, but my friend had got sick, and I got them some soup.
Yeah.
Too bad I probably was killing them.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, these companies, it's the illusion of choice. So they own a bunch of other brands. So Campbell's Soup, they own Pepperidge Farms and a bunch of other brands that you're like, wait a minute, I'm still eating the same shit.
Yeah.
They own like 30 other brands.
Yeah.
Like, how am I choosing? Oh, wait, I'm eating the same thing. So from inception, where it comes from, hey, who controls the farms? What are they spraying, our crops with, and all this other stuff? And it really doesn't make sense because pesticides. Okay, so we're going to spray these crops to kill insects, but it's still safe enough for us to eat. That makes sense to anybody?
Monsanto's have it where the pesticide is inside of the seed.
Right.
It's crazy. And
then good old Bill Gates of hell, he funds a company called AD Dolphin, to where it's literally toxic wax on top of your fruits and vegetables. Okay, you got to look at the seal on it. Look at the stickers. If it says AD Dolphin, that's Bill Gates. He also has another company that he funded called Savor, where he's creating synthetic butter for everybody to eat. Because he says the CO2 that cows are making by farting and burping is destroying the atmosphere. So we got to eat fake butter and fake meat.
Gotta be another way.
This is what he says. This is what his research says.
And didn't he buy apple cider vinegar?
I don't know if Bill Gates did, but some company did, though. I think
it's Bill.
I think it is Bill, actually.
It is Bill.
I think it is. And
everybody was afraid that he might start bringing that new company into that situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. I think it was him because apple cider vinegar is great for you. But again, they're buying up these brands. Same thing with Whole Foods.
The thing about Monsanto's that I find so weird is that, one, they talk about how it destroys the soil, but then how all the other countries kick them out and won't let them do anything there. But the United States welcome them with open arms.
Yeah.
That's the part that I'm just like, what's going on?
I mean, capitalism, that's just the bottom line. They want to make money.
I get it, but I just like, we're killing our people.
Yeah.
And we're not willing to take a stance.
Well, it's all one big web. I mean, if you think about it, the FDA works with, the Food and Drug Administration. Why is it the Food and Drug Administration? Because one causes the problem. The other one is the solution.
Oh.
Okay. So through the food, they're going to poison you and then keep you on their pills and whatnot. Keep you just, enough on the leash to keep you alive, but have a miserable life and monetize you.
Have you seen Super Size Me 2?
There's a 2?
Yeah. Have you seen it?
Part 2?
Yeah.
By the same guy?
Yeah. Before he died.
Yeah, he died. Yeah, it's crazy.
Of cancer. But he was showing how chicken factories, how basically they're run. And it's done by a lottery system every year and how much chickens you get to grow. So they basically control the economy of like the people who farm the chicken. But it's done through a lottery system.
Damn. Have you seen the life of a chicken? Like how terrible their situation is, like as a chicken? Like
it's called, that's the name of the documentary?
No.
No, you're just saying, talking about life.
Okay,
No, I'm just saying. Like,
I was like, okay, I need to see this.
No, they're like the life of a chicken is just terrible because they're in these small confined spaces.
Right.
And it's like thousands of them in a whole coop, right? And they're just giving them feed and they're just cramped up all day and they have a terrible life. And then they can grow a full-grown chicken in 3 weeks.
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
well, how do you feel about even like the new meat? I think that that's going to be the replacement for meat.
Like the
Beyond Meat?
Beyond Meat. What's the other one?
What, the 3D printed meat? That meat that's not real?
No, not that one. That one's already full of shit. But I'm just talking about what are your thoughts on those particular meats?
Like the Beyond Meat.
Beyond Meat. And then what's the other one? I can't think of it right now.
I know there's black. They use beans at meat sometimes.
No. It's
Tofu?
another. Huh?
Tofu?
No. But what is your thoughts on that whole industry?
Yeah, I feel like, again, they're trying to continue their tyranny on the food supply, right? So they're telling us what's good, what's bad, what is deemed natural. Like when you see natural flavors.
Oof. It's a warning right there.
Yeah, like it's either natural or it's not.
Yeah, that's definitely.
You know what I'm saying? So like when we're talking about these meats and whatnot, they're trying to replace meats like how Bill Gates is trying to do, right? So, oh yeah, we shouldn't eat meat anymore. Like any meat that you should be eating should be grass fed. Okay, I don't eat chicken at all.
No?
No, I haven't ate it in over 4 years. So, you know, the only thing I do eat is grass-fed beef, you know, and I don't eat pork or anything like that. Grass-fed only.
You like that too? You don't eat pork?
Yeah, pork is terrible.
I've never eaten pork.
It's very into the Puerto Rican culture. There's a bunch of dishes with pork.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for me.
Yeah. I mean, you are what you eat, because what does a pig eat all day?
Shit.
Exactly. So you're eating shit.
Are you gonna go into this?
Yeah. So one theory that we talked about it, but I know you did a little bit more theory about it, that I heard that Paul McCartney was dead.
Yeah.
And that you found some connections of why this theory might be true, might not.
Yeah. So the theory is that Paul McCartney died earlier on, you know, in the 60s, early 60s, you know, when the Beatles were coming up, and Paul McCartney died in a car crash. Okay. Now, there was this is crazy, but there was actually a lookalike contest for Paul McCartney. Now, why would you have a contest for one Beatle member instead of all the Beatle members?
Before or after his car crash?
This was right before. So it's kind of weird. Or I think it was right after, actually.
Okay.
I think it was like around the same time, or there's info to where it's kind of like in between, but I believe it was right after.
Okay.
But the fact that they have it either way, like it's just weird that they have this contest and then they found this guy who looks, you know, just alike him, plays instruments.
Damn, played instruments also?
Billy Shears. So his name was Billy Shears, and they're saying that this particular person took the place of Paul McCartney. Now, of course, you know, they muddied the waters with the, you know, the details of actually when it happened and whatnot, but it's in the newspaper. You can see it. You can pull up, you know, the documents.
Is cloning real?
Of course it is.
People are being cloned?
For sure. I mean, why is it that if it's not real, why is it that we have an international law banning human cloning? Just saying. So you don't think that they have human clones running around in Hollywood, in politics?
They say Jamie Foxx was a clone.
They did say that. I mean, didn't he have a tattoo on his head and then it disappeared? It's kind of weird. And that was a real tattoo. It wasn't for a movie, and no, he had a tattoo, and
yeah, that tattoo disappeared.
It's gone.
He did have a tattoo.
I remember that tattoo in the
yeah.
It disappeared. Where'd it go? And then he does a movie called They Cloned Tyrone.
Yeah, he did do that movie
about a government operation where they're infiltrating the hood and they're cloning people to perpetuate the lifestyle.
So they want to throw it in our face.
They always throw it in your face.
How's Vegas? Has it gotten better?
Vegas is cool, man. Yeah, we got our studio out there, Jet Set Studios, and you know we're doing a lot of great things over there and content. It's a content creator space, so yeah, man, it's been good out there, and there's no traffic. You know, they do have a lot of corporations that took over though. You know, I don't think the mafia runs Vegas anymore.
Then who runs Vegas?
Private equity. Because you guys do know that they own a lot of land on the Strip.
And you were telling me that's the reason why the prices went up.
Yeah.
On everything.
Yeah.
Because they have to make a certain amount of money per day.
Correct. So it's a trickle down effect. So if they're raising the prices on the land, then the rent goes up, then the prices goes up, and the food goes up, and the drinks go up. So private equity does this to every industry. They did this to Red Lobster. Remember Red Lobster was going under? Mm-hmm. So what happened with Red Lobster, they went into private equity, right? Same thing. They own the land that all the Red Lobsters were on, right? So they buy it, buy the real estate, and then re-rent at a premium to that same company.
But if they were already starving.
Yeah, they're going to starve them out even more because they're going to just swallow up the whole business. So it's really not about the business. They're in the business of crashing other businesses and making money on them.
Right.
Because they get the money either way.
Because they own the land.
Exactly.
So the powers that be, what's their ultimate goal right now? Because I read in the news that people are losing their jobs left and right. AI is taking a bunch of jobs. It looks like we're going to get to a point where people are going to have hard trouble paying their rent with high prices. What's their end goal right now? Do they want to create like Ready Player One where everybody's living in shit, but they escape through, you know?
Yeah, I mean, think about this. What does Meta have right now with the eyes?
They can see what you're seeing.
Yeah, so they have Meta glasses, Oculus, right? We have all this virtual reality stuff. So it's a great
Meta
point.
AI.
Yeah. So Elon says in the very near future, work is going to be optional. Now, what does he mean? He wants to roll out something called universal high income, which is a fancy word for universal basic income, which means the government becomes your daddy. They give you money and you sit on your ass all day playing Oculus. Okay? That's what that means.
He's trying to institute that now.
Yes, he already said in the very near future, work will be optional. We're going to roll out universal high income to where pretty much AI and robots is going to solve all our problems and do all the mundane work. And we could just sit around and chill.
So everyone would get some form of a stipend.
Correct. Everybody gets...
So that means there's no middle class.
Exactly.
There's either poor or you're part of the government or you're rich.
Yeah, haves and have-nots, right? So even in, New York right now, Mamdani, who just became mayor of New York, the first Muslim mayor.
Right.
He's a plant. You know why? Because guess what? He wants to push socialism. He wants government-owned grocery stores.
That sounds scary.
Does this not sound like a dark dystopian future to anybody?
Sounds like Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Slowly but surely, right? We have these rights and these great freedoms and whatnot. Do we? Just saying, because they're slowly rolling all this stuff out.
Yeah.
Big tech has already taken over.
And I'll say, like, they don't do it as often as they used to, but they still sometimes make me take off my shoes, belts. It started there.
Yeah.
Airport.
Exactly. And they're just going to keep rolling it. I'm telling you. So, yeah, they're talking about optional work. So they're trying to roll out this whole UBI thing fast. And they already did it in Illinois, actually. They have a UBI program right now in Illinois.
Mars real? We going to Mars?
Are we going to Mars?
Yeah.
For sure.
I've heard there's already a society over there.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you look at the atmosphere, what does Mars looks like? Like, what does that look like to you?
Desert.
Looks like the desert. Looks like Grand Canyon. Looks like, I don't know, maybe Arizona. So what do you think happened there? Maybe that was the original Earth. Got nuked. Got scorched. So maybe nothing's on the surface, but maybe something's underground in Mars. Why is there facial structures that look like the Sphinx on Mars?
Yeah.
There's square structures miles long that they found on Mars. So the fact that, we have movies like Total Recall. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
What was going on? They were living where? Underground in Mars. Okay? And they were trying to bring back an atmosphere. Like air and we can go outside. And so it's always in the movie. So yeah, it's definitely real. That's where Elon's trying to go. Again, he wants to bring his robots there. I have a whole theory on why Elon wants to go to Mars.
Oh, let's hear that.
Yeah.
The real reason he wants to go to Mars, think about this. He goes to Mars. Now, what does he have? He has Neuralink. He has SpaceX. He has his robots. Okay? So you mean to tell me he's going to go to Mars and bring humanity there to where there's no laws, no government. You're basically God there with all your robots with chips in our brain? Does that sound like a good idea to anybody?
Except for Elon Musk.
It sounds good for him. Yeah, it means everybody's under his control.
Oh, look at that. Elon Musk just became the richest person with $700 billion. That just happened right now.
700 billion.
He's almost a trillionaire.
That's crazy, man. Give me a couple billion.
Do you think that the fight that he had with? Well, wait. I don't want to mess up your train of thought.
No, yeah. So that's the whole theory, and it gets even spookier. So he wants to go to Mars, puts chips in people's brains, has his robots running around. Okay, wants to bring humanity there. Here's the thing. There's a book called Project Mars, written by Wernher von Braun, who was in Operation Paperclip. He was brought over from Nazi Germany to America, and he's one of the founding fathers of NASA. He writes a book about a person named Elon that takes humanity to Mars. This is in the book. How is it that this man knew that somebody named Elon was going to come along and take humanity to Mars?
When was this book written?
This book is written in the 60s. This is like 1960, like 63. Now, being the chances, like, that's the thing. So people are saying, well, maybe they just named him Elon. What are the chances that your kid, you name Elon, becomes a billionaire and then goes to Mars? Probably 1 out of a trillion.
It's not a common name either.
It's not a common name either. So is it planned? Is it predicted? Is it a coincidence? Is it as a guess? Just saying.
You know, the coincidences are crazy when AD is done.
Always.
I'm done. I don't even know what to say about that one. So the only thing I could say about that is that time travel is absolutely real.
For sure.
It's something else going on. Yeah. Like, for them to know that is just ridiculous.
I mean, think about it. If time travel was ever real, doesn't it always exist?
Yeah. It's a paradox, but yeah.
Yeah, because if we don't have time travel now, at some point in the distant future or far future, they do have time travel. Doesn't it already exist? Because they can just come back to this point in time. Now it exists. Just because it doesn't exist now, because we see time as linear, once you control time, then you're outside that box. Because really they're saying that the fourth dimension is technically time. So if you look at the movie Interstellar, okay, so when he goes, into space, deep space, and he's in that tesseract to where he's moving back and forth, where he's seeing his daughter, then he goes, sees her later. That is a representation of the fourth dimension of how you can control time because you're outside of it. You can't control anything from within inside. So if you're talking about a dimension that we can control, time being the fourth time, then we can control it.
Yeah. To me, another of his movies, if time travel is real, I think it's like how they portrayed it in Tenet.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah. That seems like the most plausible scenario where you just go back.
Go back and forth. And
yeah. Instead of like you just sap and then you go back to a certain period of time.
Right. I believe that, but I also believe that every decision you make creates a new reality. So maybe we don't see certain things only because it's a tangent. So you go back in time, something happens, you change it, now it skews into another timeline. That's why I believe in, parallel universes.
Is the Bible a real thing?
The Bible has truth to it, but it also has missing books. So everything that's in the book that we see isn't everything that was put in there in the first place. It's been tampered with. But there's aliens in there. There's giants in there. Like, people really don't dissect the Bible how they need to, right? Because I think everything in that book, some things are literal, that they're taking metaphorically, and some things they're taking metaphorically, they're taking literal. Right? Same thing with like Christ consciousness, like how we're all connected.
Hive mind.
Yeah. How we're supposed to be Christ-like, right? But we're talking about the mind, because how many vertebrae do we have in our body? 33. What year did Jesus die? Like, what age did he die? 33. So from the bottom to the top, Christ consciousness means we're all enlightened and we're all connected in a way to where we reach that level to where humanity is in harmony.
Now, they use that as an example to then make the Freemasons' highest degree 33.
33.
They did it on purpose then.
Of course, because they understand. They understand the balance in the universe. They use these things for themselves. Because the Illuminati and the Freemasons, like, think about the Illuminati, like the actual, word, the root word means enlightened ones. It's just all in what you know and what you don't know. Right? So they're hiding information from everybody because they're enlightened. They know what others don't know, but they're using it in what way to their advantage to where it benefits them and not humanity. Okay? Freemasons, symbolism, all this other stuff, esoteric, magic.
So we're all a game?
It's a game. What's a chessboard? Checkerboard, right? Mm-hmm. White and black. That's literally the floor of a Masonic lodge. If you go into a Masonic lodge, it's literally a checkerboard floor. It's a game. It's all a game.
Damn. What you recommend I should do with my life then?
Yeah, I know. I come out of these these conversations ruined every time. I got to motivate myself to go back to work.
I always say this. Look, I always say this. Knowing is half the battle. Remember G.I. Joe?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Knowing is half the battle.
That's what they say in G.I. Joe. Knowing is half the battle. And that's your starting point. Now you know how to move correctly. Now you know how to play this game and defeat the game on hard.
But you can't win the game. You know why you can't win the game? Because there's time travel. You can't win.
Yeah.
Even if you were to create something that will put you in a position to dominate the world, they could go back and take it away from you.
But the point is, that's the thing. I don't think, for one, there's balance in the universe. So everybody always has their comeuppance. But two, that shouldn't be the point, to dominate the world. I think that's the part to where they mess up, because they're always trying to dominate the world, but they're not understanding that there's balance in everything. Like, that's what creates the universe, right? So when you pour water into a bottle or a glass or a bowl, what does the water do? It levels out every time, right? Mm-hmm. It's the balance of the universe. So there's no way that they're going to continue to reign supreme forever without any kind of reaction. So I don't think you're supposed to reign supreme over and have dominion over another human being. So,
but I think, like, Star Wars is a battle that is going to go on until the end of time.
Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does. And I think that battle within itself, you find enlightenment, you find righteousness, and, sometimes you find yourself that, the things you're fighting for is worth fighting for. So I don't think that's a bad thing.
Oh, we appreciate you stopping by and enlightening us. What new stuff you got going on? Any new events?
Yeah. I got some events coming up next year at Jet Set Studios. So I have, an event coming up for CES. I got some new shows I'm rolling out under the Maverick Approach brand. Gonna be doing some more stuff with you guys, of course. But yeah, we're kicking out a lot of new shows. I have a new show called How Smart is America, where I go out into the world and ask people questions.
How smart is America? That's funny.
Yeah, because 60% of Americans read below the 9th grade level.
I believe that.
Yeah.
So, we got to sharpen our tools and whatnot. So, real quick, what's the third planet in the solar system?
Third planet in the solar system?
5, 4, 3,
Venus.
2. No, you're sitting on it. Earth. See?